Hi, and welcome back to part 2 of the Lily Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas. This week we're continuing with our overview on the week of December 29th, 2013 through January the 4th, 2014. In this segment, we're going to be looking at Mars retrograding in 2014. Let's get to some basic information about Mars. Generally, Mars spends about 45 days in any particular sign and approximately 2 years to go around the zodiac. Of course, the very first time we all have a big Mars transit that we're all sure of is during the terrible twos, when Mars comes back to the same place it was in the chart when we were born. And this continues to take place approximately every 2 years through our whole life. On December the 17th, 2013, on December 7th, 2013, Mars entered Libra and will remain in Libra until July 25th, 2014. And yes, that's a really long time for Mars to be in any sign, and particularly with Mars in Libra, Mars in Libra is considered to be in its detriment, since Mars in Aries, the opposite sign, is considered in its rulership. Mars is essentially the planet of self and the sign of relationships. You can make up your own interpretations about that. Mars wants to express itself regardless of outcome, social judgment. It's a planet of primal expression, of survival, of competition, and initiation. Without a good Mars, we have a hard time starting a new project or confronting something difficult. Mars goes retrograde about every 2 years, and the last time Mars was retrograde was right at the end of 2011 and 2012. And of course, whenever we have Mars retrograde, we're always dealing with issues that we've been putting off. With Mars, these issues come to the surface like an unwatched pot boiling over. And with Mars in Libra, the sign of relationships, all relationships will be affected with Mars there. And this time, it's the time to confront the problems we create in our relationships, instead of just trying to get along like Libra normally does. We're more open, authentic, and especially timely with our views, which is not the normal Libran case. Libra likes to polish things and make them smooth so that they're more friendly and more open to them. But during this Mars in Libra, we'll be a lot more honest with how we feel without all of that polishing. And in particular, Mars and Jupiter will be lining up with the Pluto-Uranus square, I can't speak past my East Texas accent, the Pluto-Uranus square, especially strong between mid-March and mid-May of 2014, with a lot of focus in April. Personally, if there are things you wanted to say or address, something that you've been keeping inside, you'll be saying them at this time. People may feel that they have to act in order to make their lives feel safer, and we'll all be feeling a bit under attack with Mars in Libra. This can be a decision-making time for many people, as we feel that we're pushed into a corner. Particularly in the USA chart, Mars is definitely making contact on our chart. We have Saturn in Libra at 13 degrees Libra, and our Sun at 12 Cancer. So Mars will be moving back and forth over the USA, Saturn, and Sun square. Now, and of course, Saturn in the USA chart is all about our sense of honor, our sense of prestige, which has obviously been suffering. And our Sun in Cancer, we're a Cancer country. Our Sun in the 8th house, that's the house of shared resources. All of this area, shared resources, money, how things are invested, are definitely going to come up with this Mars retrograde moving over the Sun and the Saturn in the USA chart. And I'm expecting that several issues will come to a head. Obamacare, same-sex relationships, and of course this awful stalemate that we have in our Congress. We could see some real protest here in the USA during this time, this March and between March and May of 2014. I do expect the wars and the conflicts to increase during this time, as people will do anything for their freedom. And I do expect that the challenge for existing governments would be to open up and let go of their fears. I don't really think that's going to happen, but on the best of times, on an individual level, we can certainly do these things. We don't have to act like that we're in such a fearful place. And also, speaking about fear, I'm also very concerned about Fukushima making some really big news during this time, March through May. Personally, these energies will bring people to the table to talk. If your relationship is not working, this will bring it to the point that you'll have to fix it or you'll leave it. There's some pretty definite times. We'll all be working to create a greater sense of future security and having more control over our own existence. And oftentimes, when we have these greater planetary tensions, great things happen. Mars will be the motivation for many people who want to start their own business or have more personal choices in their own lives. And of course, because of this, we're less likely to believe what the propaganda and the government and authority figures issue. I will be talking more about Mars as he goes retrograde in 2014. Let me give you my Mars retrograde dates. I'm having Mars retrograde from February the 15th through February 15th through June 18th of 2014. Mars does go stationary retrograde on March 1st and stationary direct on May 19th. Now, in astrologies, stationary, as it means in many places, means standing still. So, trying to time things, because a lot of clients ask me this, is this a good time? Should I wait till March 1st? No, it's too late. By that time, Mars is stopped. And during the direct time, we don't start things on the day after Mars goes stationary direct, May 20th. Mars is still barely moving. And of course, these are the times when Mars is moving slowest and may be the most difficult or create the most difficult times for us to sort of face. So, you may want to begin your new endeavors after June 18th of 2014. If you have any questions or any ideas, please mail me here at lilyrottyshow@AOL.com or visit our websites, lilyrottyshow.com, or find us on Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter under Lily Rotty Show. And of course, don't forget about my Journey Through the Signs on Thursday, January the 9th, 2014 at 7 p.m. This is the Lily Rotty Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas, on my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me this week, and remember to keep those stars in your eyes. Bye-bye. Happy New Year.